Hello everybody and welcome to my fourth roundup episode of the MotoGP 15 career mode, which will be round 9 of the championship, the Sachsenring of Germany, and just a quick roundup of how I've done since the wonderful Mugello appearance. Catalonia for the Barcelona race was also a reasonable success, but after great qualifying I couldn't get my Mahindra around the course quickly enough to finish so well. It was only in 8th place, but in Assen in the Netherlands I managed to get my second career podium in a thrilling race where I qualified on pole, but the big two of Kent and Oliveira broke away and left me for dust, but I was dominant enough to claim the third place. And the championship standings now look like this. Marc Marquez leads in MotoGP ahead of Jorge Lorenzo, Valentino Rossi and Andrea Dovizioso. Sam Lowes remains the leader of Moto2 with Tito Rabat, Johan Zarco and Jonas Folger starting to fall back a fair distance, but I wish them all the best of luck. But this is where it all matters for the time being. The riders' standings in Moto3. It's still an undefeated Danny Kent. He was tied with Oliveira in that Assen race. However, he remains undefeated on 200 points. Quartararo 71 points back, and then from Navarro downwards it's a long way back. You can see Navarro's 4th, Vasquez 5th, Vinales 6th, Binder 7th, Haneke 8th, Bastianini 9th, and now because of my second podium I am now tied with Alexis Masbou on 45 points. John McPhee and Niccolo Antonelli suffered as a result of my great result. They're now down the table. Locatelli's tied with Antonelli. Finati 19 points, Hiroki Ono 9 points, and Livio Loi, who won in real life in Indianapolis, he only has 1 point for his efforts. As for the constructor standings, you can probably see them already, but here they are just to be certain. It's Honda on 200 points, KTM 148, Husqvarna 73, and Mahindra, thanks to my success, are now starting to catch up, and we have 45 points. So it's all to play for in Moto3. Apart from the riders, I'd say that's good as gone now. But the Sachsenring poses a unique challenge, as it is the shortest track on the calendar. Just probably 3,671 meters. That's not very long at all. So we'll see what that circuit has in store for me. Qualifying was a bit of a cinch really, as I managed to grab pole position by 9/10 of a second from Danny Kent. Miguel Oliveira 3rd, Quartararo 4th, Navarro 5th, Vinales 6th, Antonelli 7th, and so on and so forth. So we'll scroll down to the very bottom and you can see how dominant I was, being 4 seconds clear of the slowest rider. This is the weather update for the Grand Prix. Track and air temperatures are very high, but the clouds are certainly bringing in a little bit of a threat, but nothing too serious. Now the lights are extinguished. Now it's a slow getaway for myself and the rest of the riders, but you can tell the big two are going to overtake me on the inside with their superior horsepower, and we head down to the first hairpin right, and already I've made a bit of an error. Quartararo, Vinales and Vasquez, and everybody has overtaken me into turn 1, and now we're down the hill for turn 2, and now another right turn for turn 3. Mostly left turns at this circuit, which is quite remarkable. Now I'm not on the racing line whatsoever, and I make a third mistake in the complex, and Bastianini and Binder are ahead, so my odds of winning are severely shortened. Karel Haneke even wants to have a barge match with me, and we're now heading down to the left-hander downhill, 3rd gear. Nothing more than that is necessary. Braking again for another left, and would you believe it, I'm completely off the racing line, and Locatelli is even going to overtake me. We're braking now for my favourite section of the track, and I've hit one of the one of the guys ahead of me, and now I have to cut across the grass to stay in this race, and that's Haneke back past. Braking zone coming up now. Locatelli to my outside. I will be able to protect my position, but I do get very frisky hitting Bastianini, but I'm only in 11th place after 1 lap, unless I can lose a position here. No, it doesn't look likely. Up the hill for a left, and that completes 1 lap of the so-called go-kart track of the Sachsenring, but there are still 6 to go, and we're heading down past the start finish now, and I've got my data pack. Oliveira, new lap record, and we're braking now, and I've gone very wide, but lots of riders are down. At least 4 riders have crashed, and they will resume way down the order now. That's a very, very bizarre incident. And the yellow flags are out, but I was able to overtake safely. And now, fast forwarding through the slowest part of the track, we're now on a heat-seeking missile heading towards Bastianini, back to normal time, and I'm easily able to overtake him on the outside. And now this is why I'm so good at this section. I'm able to go flat out most of the way, and I'm all the way into 5th position. Suddenly the win or a podium isn't out of the question, and you can see Quartararo and Navarro slowing each other down. They're sort of nudging each other, and Denny Kent fastest lap of the race. And look at this, Navarro's down goes Navarro. His bike nearly trickles onto the racing line, and I actually performed the fastest lap there. That's a very scary moment for Navarro, but Quartararo is now all on his own, 0.8 of a second clear, and McPhee is down. John McPhee is also gonna have to recover his race. It's a quite remarkable thing. It's a dry race, and yet the riders are falling off at an extraordinary rate. We haven't seen it at all in this career mode. And now, here we go, I'm flat out heading towards Quartararo's rear tyre, and I'm going for the inside dive. There you go, 6th gear down to 3rd and 2nd, and I'm able to block Quartararo, and I'm through into 3rd place. Can you believe this? But the Frenchman wants one last shot at me, but it's not to be. I'm going to go down to 1st gear, and I'm right behind the leaders now. It's Oliveira in 2nd place. He's riding the KTM for Red Bull. And Danny Kent, the Leopard rider, of course, looking to stay undefeated and become the MotoGP 3 champion in no time at all. I made an error just as I performed a new fastest lap. Quartararo is back through, and I just have to consolidate because this is by far my worst section of the track, and it's obviously disappointing that it's the very first section. But Quartararo was able to defend his spot, and I'm going to kiss the grass just ever so slightly. And braking again, trying to go a little wide, but now we're able to attack into sector 2, very quick downhill lefts and that sort of things. I'm straight around the outside, and now this is where I'm at my best. Oliveira, he's blocking fair and square in my book, but he's not got much to defend with 0.03 of a second. I'm looking on the outside this time. It's not going to work out, but maybe the undercut. No, Oliveira continues to defend his place. Kent has a sizable lead at this stage. It's not much, but by Moto 3 standards it's huge. And now Oliveira can't hold me back any longer. It's 2nd place for the Irishman, and now his KTM is right back on the hunt, using the horsepower down the back straight. 0.6 of a second is all that separates me from Kent. At 1:28.1 was the last lap. But Oliveira's back through as he had the inside line. Another track record for me, and now that's an error, but I won't get punished for it. But Oliveira's gaining, and again we hit the fast forward button for just a little bit. This is definitely Oliveira's moment to hold me back, but no, not any longer. Now Kent is in trouble. Is this the moment where I take the lead from Danny Kent? It is. Kent can't hold me back. I'm through, and I've just got 2 laps to go upon crossing the line, and a win is all of a sudden here for me to take. But I've got to be at my absolute best through sector 1 if I'm going to, run away with this thing. But how is it going to matter if I'm going to be a few hundredths of a second clear of Kent? Surely not. It must be my day now. Across the line at 1:27.6. It's 0.6 of a second. Braking for turn 1, and I make a bit of a balls of it, and Kent will go through. I cannot fathom how I managed to do that. My braking zone was all wrong, and now the Leopard number 52 is away. But for how long? Just 0.2 of a second, nearly 0.3 if you want to look it up. Oliveira tries an undercut, it doesn't work. Kent has pulled out a massive lead, but I'm going to climb straight back in, giving him a nudge, and straight back into the lead. The final lap is upon us. Who wants the win most? Will it be the undefeated Kent, or will it be the rookie Armin? We're braking now for turn 1 for the very last time, and that's much better. Much, much better. I'm remaining ahead, but Kent will go for the inside here, giving me a bump, and that forces my hand. I'm worn tyres. I do an endo, and Kent is in the lead for the 3rd time in this wonderful battle, and down goes Navarro. Oh, goodness me. Here we go now. Kent, if he has a second lead or more, then he will be uncatchable. But if it's anything less, heading into this final sector, we will surely beat him. I've made an error there. Kent can now run away as best he can, but it's only 7/10 of a second. This is my moment now. You can see how difficult it is to keep the bike on the two wheels with the worn out tyres. But here we go. This is the moment. Whoever survives this corner will win the Grand Prix. Kent has lost the inside line, but I've completely cut the grass and I'm down. Down goes the leader and it's all gone. Kent will remain undefeated, and for my troubles I don't even get a podium. The comeback kid has lost the bottle, and 4th place is the best I can do here. Ah, my goodness me. That was the threshold moment, and I broke the glass in my face. Danny Kent will win yet again the 9th consecutive victory for the British rider. Oliveira and Quartararo can only sit back and admire, and that's 4th place in the most extraordinary ending. Brad Binder did superbly to finish 5th, Alexis Masbou 6th, Enea Bastianini 7th, Isaac Vinales 8th, Carol Haneke 9th. Of course, Kent did it in under 10 minutes. There's Locatelli 10th, Vasquez 11th, Navarro 12th, Antonelli 13th, Bagnaia. Anna Mahindra was 14th, Hiroki Ono 15th, so big jumbled up order. A lot of notable names like Jules Danilo way back in the order after falling on the opening few laps. We fast forward now to the points championship. Danny Kent 57 clear, Quartararo 3rd, Navarro 4th, Vasquez 5th, Vinales 6th, Binder 7th, Haneke 8th, myself up to 9th, Bastianini 10th, and Livio Loy is the 18th and final rider to have any points at all. The Constructor Championship looks like this: Honda 225, KTM 168, that's 57 less, Husqvarna 81, and Mahindra 58. So here's a look at my experience gains. It's nearly level 18 for me now, which is great, but I could have done it if I had held on to the victory. And my credit and fan boosts are as follows. I have 72,074 fans with 134,000 credits. But now here's a look from Vasquez's point of view. Heading into turn 1, you can see down goes the Husqvarna rider, and then the number 7 goes down as well. More riders. I'm trying to keep up as the bike scuttles on the curb. A lot of riders fell, and there I go around the outside, and that completes an extraordinary moment. Really, really enthralling. I can't wait for the next episode. How about you guys? What do you think? What did you think of that, everybody? What a race that was, and whether you think that was one that got away from me, or if you think I should have taken what I got with that 4th position, you let me know. That was one race to remember. And in the upper classes, you can see it was Jorge Lorenzo that grabbed the victory, and Sam Lowes won again in Moto 2. So we'll take a look at my website, and Harman has made a great name for himself, according to Danny Kent, who of course remains unbeaten. I nearly broke that undefeated streak, but that was definitely the best race of the series so far in my opinion, and it continues my formidable podium streak. So let's just review that in greater detail now. You can see I have 13 data packs saved up, so my streak of podiums, it's still 2, but top 5 that's my 2nd in a row, and I was absolutely thrilled with that. But of course I should have won, but now we've got more great races coming up, including Indianapolis, Brno in the Czech Republic, and the British Grand Prix. If I had to choose, I'd probably pick the British Grand Prix, and that one is coming up next in real life as well. So we're flying through this championship, even if I'm not really making that much effort to play the game as often as I'd like. But I'm sure you guys who are enjoying the series will let me know how I'm doing. But there's a look at the other 2 championships since we last met. So hopefully my first win isn't too far away, and if it is, it'll be in the next episode for Silverstone. Until then, speak to you soon. Goodbye.